Welcome back to Blog Access 101. I'm your host, Young Hibashi. This is episode 136. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify by searching Access 101, which is BLOGACCESSS 1 on 1. Today, my co-host LR. What up, LR?
It's good.
Nothing much. So yeah, we just start off with it. Colts fumbled the bag yesterday. They had 33-point lead at halftime. Found a way to blow it. Shout out to Justin Jefferson for getting what do you got me? 33 points. Oh no, 30 points on fantasy. What he had 11 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic. Get well soon, Jonathan Taylor. But I'm glad you I'm not glad, but I mean it's fucked up. But I'm glad you had to sit out the remainder of the game for us because I had to play you twice in two different leagues. So get well soon, just not this week. Well, you can get well soon this week now since it's over. But anyway, man, what you think of the game?
I thought the game was great. I mean, the first half was obviously terrible, so I could channel click and watch some of college basketball. But then when the Vikings scored, I think it got to 36-7, then the Vikings scored like two straight touchdowns. Then I was like, okay, what if the Vikings actually come back? And then you start to think about Matt Ryan and the Super Bowl when he had the 28-3 lead and blew that. And you kind of want to see Matt Ryan blow the biggest lead in regular season history since he already has the record for blowing the biggest lead in the Super Bowl history. So I just started rooting for the Vikings. I'm not even a Vikings guy, but I started rooting for the Vikings when they forced that fumble and ran it back and the refs cheated them. I was like, come on, like they can't lose like that because that was like the worst call I've ever seen. At least let the play go and still because you challenge I mean, you have to review every touchdown. So you let the touchdown go and then review it. It's like
Mm.
sometimes these refs just don't think. But when Dalvin Cook went down for that run, I automatically knew it was over. FanDuel locked me out, wouldn't let me get the Vikings money line. So they already knew too. They was hating on me. But I thought it didn't really show me anything. Like the Colts, they gave up what it was it 33 to the Cowboys last week. Got shut out 33-0 in the fourth quarter last week. Got shut out 22-0 in the fourth quarter. To get shut out 55-0 in two fourth quarters, that is some pretty bad defense. That's some pretty bad offense, and that's pretty bad coaching. So whatever they did that made them want to hire Saturday, they need to reevaluate that because that's two bad showings in the fourth quarter. That is absolutely horrendous. There's literally no reason Jeff Saturday should still have a job. But shout out to the Vikings. They stayed persistent. They stayed in it, and they didn't give up. And I'm still shocked by it, but I thought it was a really good game. It turned out to be one of the most entertaining games of yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a good one, man. The Bills one was good as well. I thought it was supposed to be snowing. Obviously they got it all off the field. When I looked at the game, the pregame, and he was talking, I'm like, it's no snow on the ground. Fuck. But I took the under 44 and a half, and
Same.
I should have hedged it and did it over as well, but I just thought it was going to be snowing. I should get my money back, FanDuel, because I was hustled and bamboozled. The snow was in the stadium. It was in the stands. It wasn't on the field though. Buffalo fans went crazy yesterday throwing the snowballs. I never thought I'd see a game get delayed. The snowballs are being thrown onto the field by fans. And then the ref said they sound like one of them teachers or substitute teachers when they get in their feeling. They're like, if you keep throwing the snowballs, we're going to give you the Bills a 15-yard penalty. They threw that shit right after. That shit was funny as hell.
Good at the ref. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. That was a good thing. A good night. That Browns and Ravens game was like watching paint dry. I'm glad they put that in the middle one. But the first and third didn't disappoint. But yeah, man, it's just Jalen Waddle. I had him on one. I had him started one league and benching another. He earned his starting spot back after last night. Great game for my guy. What do you have? Three catches. Only had three catches out of seven targets, but had 114 yards and a 67-yard touchdown. So it's kind of hit or miss. Two would be on some bullshit sometimes, but I think he's coming around. I think he's coming around. I end up starting. I didn't start Tua last night because I thought the Bills defense is going to give him trouble as well. I thought it'd be a lot of snow on the ground, so I thought it'd be a lot of running. Yeah. Wrong decision. He got 18. But I got Daniel Jones off of waiver wire. I think he'll give me more anyway. Especially a rivalry game against Washington, a must win for them, for a playoff spot. Well, at least Seattle lost last Thursday. But yes, let's just jump to that NFL playoff picture. I guess we'll start off with the NFC because that's the best conference as well, obviously. You got the Philadelphia Pigeons at the number one seed. I don't see that changing anytime soon, unless they somehow miraculously lose to the Bears today, which I don't see happening. Uh, Minnesota kept themselves at the two seed with winning against what's that team? Oh, the Colts yesterday. So San Francisco's still a game out. Only thing I can really see moving at this point in NFC playoffs is that second and third seed, and then the six through I guess 6 through 9 is a tight battle. Washington and the Giants play each other tonight, both 7-5-1. That could be a remaining spot for that 6 and 7 seed. One of them might drop to 7. They still should be good since Seattle lost and they got that tie that could help them or hurt them at the end of the day. Only team I can see giving them issues of sneaking past them is probably the Detroit Lions, but they won the last 5 out of 6 games. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they play the Jets today. That's going to be a big game for them because that's two teams that must win to keep their playoff hopes. Or I wouldn't say keep their playoff hopes, but just keep within range of securing a playoff spot. Then after the Lions play the Jets, they really don't play nobody. You got the Panthers, they got the Bears, then they got the Packers, and the Packers is not the team they were years ago. They obviously playing like horseshit. But the Packers are totally not out of it, which is pretty shocking. Um, they obviously they can't lose any more games or they're eliminated, but they're not totally out of it. I mean, they played the Rams Monday night. Aaron Donald's not playing, so that's a good sign for them. Oh, okay, the Packers is a wrap for them. They got to play after they play the Rams, they play the Dolphins, and then they play the Vikings. Oh yeah, good season, Aaron Rodgers. Thanks for coming out. But what do you think about the NFC playoff picture? I think Dallas is obviously a lock at the 5 seed. We'll probably either play Tampa Bay or Atlanta, depending whoever wins that division. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're going to beat whoever comes out of that division. But what do you think about the NFC?
I have the Panthers winning the South. So I actually have the Panthers beating the Steelers today, and
Okay.
of course I have the Bucks losing to the Bengals today at home, and then the Bucks and Panthers play next week. I actually have the Panthers going to Tampa Bay
I thought
and
they
beating
played
the
till
Bucks.
I thought they played like that on New Year's.
Is it New Year's? Did I jump ahead? It probably is New Year's. Well, I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was Christmas, but it might be New Year's. So they play New Year's. So then whoever, I don't know, if it's not if the Bucks don't play the Panthers next week, they probably play some corny team. So maybe they'll get a win next week. But I would have to see exactly who the Panthers play before I can guarantee their wins because they're not the best team. Oh, they play the Lions next week, and they play the Lions at home. So that's 50-50. But
Yeah.
regardless, when the Panthers and Bucks play on New Year's, the Panthers are going to beat them. So I have that.
I
And
was,
I think the only difference I have in the AFC is I actually do not think the Bills are going to have the number one seed.
oh
I
wow.
think the number one seed is going to go to the Chiefs. Um, I'm almost certain it might be New Year's also, but I'm almost certain the Bills play the Bengals next week. Did I jump ahead to the New Year's for everything though? Let me
Yeah.
double check.
Yes. Yes. You
I
you
did.
just
I
said
did.
the hell of a
For some
Christmas game.
reason, I think Christmas I'm thinking basketball, so I don't really think about football. So
Right.
that's probably what it is. But so the Bills play the Bengals in 2 weeks on New Year's in Cincinnati. I actually think Cincinnati wins that game, gives the Bills 4 losses. I don't see the Chiefs getting 4 losses. I see the Chiefs winning out. So I think the Chiefs grab the number one seed and everything else I had pretty much in place. Um, I think the Chargers do take that last playoff spot from the Patriots.
Goddamn.
Um, and I think all four NFC East teams make the playoffs.
That's a good take right there, buddy. So yeah, let me look at the Chiefs schedule. They play. Oh wow, that's a crazy easy schedule. They got the Texans today,
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks next week, Broncos, and then Raiders. Yeah, you might be right.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that one or two could have a chance of swapping. But you can't count out Cincinnati either.
Well, Chiefs would have to lose a game because Cincinnati actually have 4 losses, and Chiefs and Bills only have 3.
I could see them. I mean, just a hypothetical. I could see them. Well, obviously the Seahawks just lost Tyler Lockett, so that could be a big issue for them. But you still got Metcalf, and then you have Kenneth Walker back. You never know with these games. The Chiefs sometimes play a little bit funny. Like last week, they were struggling against Denver. So these rivalry games, you can never just be like, "Oh, this team is a write-off." Rivalry games always gets a little tricky. Teams might lose a team they shouldn't be losing to, but it happens in rivalries. So you never know. They got to play the Broncos and Raiders the final game. Derek Carr might finally remember how to play football again. Um, so that's up in draft. The team I see dropping is the going out is Baltimore.
Baltimore, really?
Yeah, bro, they look horrendous yesterday against a terrible Browns team. Um, they played the Falcons Christmas Eve. They played the Steelers, which is a rivalry game. Obviously they beat them last week, but I don't see that happening again. Then they play the Bengals for the final game.
I don't think there's any reason that the Ravens should lose to the Falcons next week.
I didn't think there was
Um,
any reason for them to lose the Browns today, but it happened.
oh, I had the Browns. I thought that was an easy one because there was literally no way the Browns were gonna lose in Deshaun Watson's home opener,
That's true.
especially to a backup quarterback. There was just no way. So I know that York missed 2 field goals, so he's a clown for that. But other than that, the defense came to play and got big turnovers. The offense was still pretty bad, but I mean, it still is like the Browns. They're not a good team at all, but they weren't about to lose to the Ravens. But the next 2 weeks are very winnable games. The Ravens are home against the Falcons. They're home against the Steelers, and we all know how I feel about Mitch Trubisky. So I mean, unless
I think they
Pickett
started. Didn't
comes back,
starting one of the backups? I thought they started Rudolph.
now they split first reps, but they're gonna go with Mitch Trubisky today, and maybe they'll bring Mason Rudolph up. But either way, they both throw heavy interceptions as opposed to Pickett, who's a kind of a better quarterback. But even if he comes back from concussion, his first game back is in Baltimore. I like the Ravens still, and by then, Lamar Jackson should be back. So yeah, I got the Ravens making the playoffs. I don't have them doing much, but I got them making the playoffs.
Okay. Uh, Shit, I don't know, but like you said, I definitely got the Chargers sneaking in there. They played well. They finally got their weapons back with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. We saw what happened last week when those two were on the field together, healthy. Crazy work for my man Justin Herbert, just at the right time because fantasy playoffs is here. Uh,
Oh,
let's see,
fantasy playoffs. First round. I don't know about that. Second round, me.
bro.
First
You
game
have made the
buys.
playoffs in one of three leagues, bro.
I'm what are you talking about? I'm number two in one league. I'm number one in
League is
another league.
okay.
And
All
then
right,
another
the
league I
league,
was seventh.
the leagues we're in, you're made the playoffs in one of the three.
Well, one team just fell apart, and the other
Oh,
team I didn't
don't
make it
start that because when I said that about fantasy basketball, when I started off 0-6, and now I'm on this
because
crazy
you
win
didn't
streak.
put you drafted a person that was injured, so you weren't prepared. I
Oh,
drafted LaMelo Ball in your league, and I knew I was gonna miss him for 4 weeks. So
hey,
I drafted a
I know
team
you.
that was gonna be able to win.
I know you see this about to be a 3 game win streak at the end after end of today.
Oh yeah, so you got LaMelo Ball back, but I mean, all I
That
know,
was before Lamelo. But then Cade Cunningham gets out for the season. Man, it was a
oh
bad year.
yikes, I did realize I do like Cade too,
That
but
had
I mean,
it was crazy work.
I
Uh,
got receipts for both of these leagues, both of these basketball leagues, but I'll just wait till Monday. But I got receipts on everybody now.
Oh my goodness, guy's something else. But anyway, so yeah, I definitely got the Chargers sneaking in, taking that seventh seed from the Patriots. Bill Belichick might be ready to find another quarterback. I like Jimmy G. I can see him going back over to New England. Uh, let's see who else. Oh wow, the Browns are actually 6-8. They're actually not out of it totally, but that's interesting. Um, yeah, the Jets because it's a sneaky team. I want to see the Jets in there. I love what's his name, Robert Saleh. I don't know if I said his last name wrong or not, but I love his coaching style. He revitalized that franchise. People Jets fans used to wear bags over their fish because they were so terrible. But they've been playing well. I'm sad my man Mike White got injured. He was actually doing pretty well. Let's see if Zach Wilson learned from his mistakes, the reason why he got benched, and actually shows accountability today. He gets the ball to his receivers. You got Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore, and you don't like throwing in the ball for whatever reason when they're two dynamic wide receivers that are deep threats. So let's see if he learned from his mistakes and actually gets the ball to his playmakers today. If that happens, I can see the Jets getting in there. They play the Lions today. That's a good game. They play the Jaguars, Seahawks, and then Dolphins for the final game. That Dolphins game could be a crucial one for that final spot. Interesting. Because then they'll be 8-6 today if they win, and then the Dolphins is 8-6. It could get crazy in the AFC. Could get crazy.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, for that final game, that'd be a good game to watch as the last game in the season. But yeah, man, let's just jump to the fantasy playoffs. I know you got your first round bye, number one seed. You know, what I mean, 5 out of 5 playoffs. Let's see, 2 buys, and then I got 3 first rounders. Well, no, I forgot. The other league is a 4 team, so the playoffs will actually start until next week in that one. But I'm a
Oh
two.
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm a 2 seed in that one. So yeah, I made what 2 seed, a 1 seed, 4 seed, and a 3 seed. That's pretty respectable. First round in the money league, $100 league, playing Gabe. Justin Jefferson went off yesterday. But then he had Tyreek Hill catch a touchdown that brought him back because he would only have 15. But it is what it is. Luckily, Jonathan Taylor got out early. Only got him 2 points. J.K. Dobbins, I knew he was gonna do his thing yesterday. So yeah, it's a nice little bomb burner. But I guess we talk about which players you think for people that's in the first round that they should put in lineup like sleeper guys that could obviously put them in the next round and give them a good chance of getting to the championship. I guess I'll start off. I got one of them, Christian Watson. Been having what he had for the last 4 games. He had 20 or more points. Crazy work. Hopefully that continues tomorrow night against the Rams, and I think it will. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to worry about Aaron Donald breathing down his neck. Obviously there's no Von Miller over there. He's in with Buffalo, even though he's out for the season. So he couldn't have to worry too much about the pass rush, obviously outside of Leonard Floyd. But Jalen Ramsey probably is he could cover him, but we've seen Jalen Ramsey have some lapses sometime in coverage. And Christian Watson is really a dynamic receiver. And early on the season, people were overlooking him. It really was just his drops. Like, yeah, it was a one play he played Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers threw a perfect bomb. I think it was like 70+ yard pass, hit his fingertips, dropped to the ground. I'm glad he's finally catching now. Let me knock on wood so I don't jinx him for tomorrow. But I definitely think that's a dynamic player you need to have on your team. And also if you're a Mark Andrews fantasy owner like me, it might be time to look at next week benching him because clearly you cannot keep winning games with him getting 3, 6, or 7 points. He's obviously not the Mark Andrews from last year. Some of it's not his fault. He's getting the target still. It's just they're not connecting. If you have a tight end like a Dawson Knox, please start starting him. Josh Allen, remember how to throw him the ball again. Who else is another good tight end? Dallas Goedert should be back. I think next week potentially. I think Darren Waller is actually back, and I got 2 out of the 2. I got both of them on my IR in that league. I'm the number 1 seed in. So one of them is definitely getting started next week over Mark Andrews. But any sleeper players you think LR that can at least get teams out of the first round and have them a shot to continue to win a championship?
Yeah. Well, even if not out the first, Pacheco, the Kansas City running back, I think he's going to have some monster games coming up. I think Kansas City's probably going to lean more to the run to make sure that Patrick Mahomes doesn't get injured before the playoffs. I think next week people should start picking up Purdy. I think he's going to have some really good games coming up, especially like just seeing him last Thursday. His confidence is really growing. So I think he's going to be a monster. I think Evan Ingram on the Jacksonville Jaguars is a tight end people should always be picking up because honestly, he's Trevor Lawrence's first option. I know everyone thinks it's Christian Kirk, but no, it's actually Trevor Lawrence. It's actually Evan Ingram. Everyone looks for Lawrence always looks for Ingram when he's in trouble.
Yeah.
And he always looks for Ingram when he's in the red zone. And a sleeper one is Tony from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's back healthy.
Mhm.
So even though they're going to get the running back going, they're also going to look to get Tony going in the catching game because they want to have as many weapons as possible. And I know that Mahomes is going to start like forcing some throws some just to get him in a nice groove since he's been injured the last few weeks.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, some of the players you said, I got on my daily fantasy team for this week. I'm gonna read you off my lineup. Crazy work. I got my good friend Jalen Hurts, uh Hubbard from the running back from the Panthers,
Mm-hmm.
Pacheco from the Chiefs, got Chris Olave with the Saints, Devontae Smith, Mike Williams, Tyler Conklin as my tight end. Garrett Wilson is my wide receiver, although I might change that now since Zach Wilson is starting. You never see
Mm-hmm.
him miss. And then I got the Chiefs defense. No brainer for me. They're playing the Texans. I feel like they create some turnovers. Um, but yeah, I think that's definitely what they need. Travis Edney, I pray you go off today. I need you to go off. To I told my cousin, I was like, I need a Dallas win, of course, but I need our defense to ease up when my man Travis Edney is running the ball or Etan is running the ball. I need about a good 20-point game for him to seal this first round. Because lately, always had teams that'll be top seeds or just third or fourth, and they blow it in the first round off of some crazy, which is why I started to buy. Cause I'm like, bro, I remember one year I was a 1 seed and lost to the 8 seed in the first round. I'm just like, I was like, just remind me of the Eagles in the Donovan McNabb era. It's like you get to that point and then you just choke.
In our era, we made NFC Championship games. That's the
Yes,
games
yes, and you
before the
choked 3 years
championship.
in a row.
Oh my God. What have the Cowboys done in the playoffs other than choke?
Well, what is it not about? This is not about the Cowboys. This is
Because
this is
that
me in the fantasy playoffs, and I would just be a 1 or 2 seed and then just lose in the first round or early when I'm supposed to projected to be the favorite, and it's just like I got to get over this hump this year, man. Like last year, I lost as the 4 seed to the 5 seed the first round. It's all right though. We're gonna hold some Lombardi's up in fantasy football this year, man.
oh, how many? Because I'm gonna get two. I'm gonna
I'm
go.
in 5. So let me look. I can see for sure. I can see me getting 2. Let's stay humble. I can see myself winning in that Legion of Doom league. I don't really see nobody in that league that scares me.
That was supposed to be my team that scared everybody.
Oh,
The team
well,
nobody wanted to play.
oh, well, we're not playing them anyway. They're not in playoffs.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And damn, bro, you won and it still was an 8 seed. That's crazy. But
Exactly. It was ridiculous.
yeah, man, you choked at you tried to come back too late, brother. But I can see myself getting 3 of them, man. This the one league where it's a 4 team, John. That's a little tricky one. If I set the right lineup, everybody plays how they're supposed to play. I could win that one as well. George Kittle gave me 23 points on Thursday night. If he give me that type of performances these next few weeks, I would greatly appreciate it. Because he was on some Mark Andrews stuff too. That lineup is a 10-man league. I got Herbert, AJ Brown, Metcalf, and he probably get more passing now that Tyler Lockett's out. Saquon, Zeke, George Kittle, Garrett Wilson. Then I got on my bench Jalen Waddle, Mike Evans, Jamal Williams, Dak Prescott, Brian Robinson, and Jerry Judy. Somebody dropped Jerry Judy a couple weeks ago. I don't know why they did it, but I took him so fast.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I don't, but I said something about the name Jesus because thank you. Then I got Justin Tucker as my kicker. Then I got the Bills as my defense. They didn't really do nothing last week. They got me 1 point. But that's not the playoffs yet. Playoffs are next week. I might have to get rid of them though. I'll take that back. They play Chicago next week. I would like to retract that statement. Probably drop them for the final when they play Cincinnati because that's going to get ugly for them. Let's see what else. But yeah, man, that's my team in that one. But the lead where I got the number 1 seed at the bye. Listen to this team, LR. I'll be smacking people around in this league. Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Tony Pollard. This is a 14-man league. Crazy.
Oh, that's
Oh, all
crazy.
right, you in this league. David Montgomery, Mark Andrews, Chris Olave, Cam Akers, DeAndre Swift, Tua, The tight end from the Raiders, he's gonna get dropped once. He's gonna get dropped once I see a Waller plays today. DJ Shark, Corey Davis, Graham Gano. Oh God, I hate that guy. And Dallas Cowboys defense. Is that not a champion?
How did they let you draft that team?
They think you're in this league.
That's crazy. I wish I was in that league. That would have been an
You
easy hire
were.
for me.
You was in the league.
Oh, well then I'm glad I didn't make the playoffs. I can't have those playoff losses on my record. That's a bad one. Oh
Oh,
my
and
gosh.
remember I traded. I mean, I think that might come back to bite me. I had Devin Singletary, but I traded him for DeAndre Swift while he was still injured. And Devin Singletary has been playing pretty well. I was like, damn, perhaps I should not have traded him. But it's
But no,
DeAndre. You had to. It's like,
I see why you're the one seed in this league. How did you get Goddard, Waller, and Mark Andrews?
bro. So somebody was trying to trade me Waller, and then I was like, no, he's trying to give me try to give a wide receiver from me. I'm like, I'm not trading him a wide receiver, Darren Waller. Dropped him, scooped him up so fast.
He tried to trade him and then he dropped him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
Yeah, there
then
was just
somebody dropped Goddard, and I scooped him up.
yeah, it was just bad teams in this league. Clearly, I
Yeah,
should have
man.
easily made the playoffs. I'm mad now.
13 seed play. Let me chill, man. It's cool though, man. You
Injuries.
get to watch your father go win go win a championship. Because remember, I remember Twan. My motivation for this season, for everybody listening, is Twan, Gabe, and LR. First of all, I want to say shout out to those guys. Just talking crazy all year in the chats. Twan said he never seen me win a championship in any leagues he's been in with me, and LR said the same thing. Like I didn't win a basketball championship league that he was in.
I wasn't there.
But it's
I
always you
wasn't
want to there
there.
when you lose. But
I won last year. I won
yeah,
last year.
yeah. And then the year before that, you lost. You wasn't even. I had played Jared in the finals and beat Jared. But yeah, man, that's my motivation for this season. Just to humble people and make them eat their words that they never seen win a championship. So now everybody's gonna see firsthand me win a fantasy championship and hosting
Yeah,
Lombardi.
but
Um,
now you got to get more than two because I'm getting two, and I'll show you both of them.
oh, you talking about the season?
I'm getting two football
I,
ones. I'm getting three basketball ones.
how many leagues you in basketball? 3 leagues?
Yep, I'm
Why
going
ain't
three
you
for three.
why ain't get an invite to the other basketball league? Oh man, it's just
Which
crazy.
one? One's a categories one, so I wasn't sure if you ever did
Oh,
categories.
Hibachi does them all.
Oh, all right. Next year then, because I think we at 12 or we're at 10. Ah, let me see
I
here.
think I'm gonna get in the
Oh, we're actually at 12 this year. That's cool.
oh bet. Yeah. Let me know if we need another one. But
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna I did for baseball, I think I'm gonna get into a random league this year to test my skill set. I feel like it's tougher against y'all than these randoms. Cause the random league I'm in football, I'm like 11-3. And that league I was 12-2. So I'm like the randoms are more easier than the leagues I know people in.
of course, because I'm always in them and I'm the Michael Jordan of
Oh my
fantasy.
god. This guy doesn't have a humble bone in his body. But
But I might whatever random league you join, I'm joining because I'm the best. So I gotta
oh,
test my skills against randos too now.
oh my goodness. I hope you get into the fantasy women's WNBA fantasy basketball this shit next season.
I'll think about that one.
Yo. You're terrible, man. It's a good job, man. I like it. I won one
I
last year and I got second in another league, the Rod. It was a good
don't feel
job.
like enough. It don't feel like enough women players to
Oh my
even.
god, this guy's a sexist.
I'll wait. I'll wait that one out.
Terrible.
And France just tied the game. How did they tie this
Oh, they came
game?
back down 2-0?
Yeah, they tied it 2-2, 80 and 81 minute.
Mm,
I
that's
must,
Yeah,
that's insane.
I forgot I got two as my backup quarterback to Jalen Hurts in his league. How did y'all let me draft this team?
I don't know.
And somebody tried to nerd and say I had the best drafted team in this league. Stop it. Um, but yeah, man. Let's go to our week 15 picks. I guess I'll start it off. Let me go to that. All right, so I took San Fran obviously over the Seahawks. That was a no-brainer. I took the Vikings over the Colts, even though they almost blew it, but they found a way to break off one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. I took the Browns over the Ravens. Took the Bills over the Dolphins, which was a good game. I'm taking the Saints over Atlanta today. Their defense is crazy. First week for Ritter. Could be a problem for him. Cowboys over the Jaguars. I took the Lions over the Jets. They just been super hot lately. Jared Goff is finally playing like how they thought Jared Goff should have played with the Rams. I'm taking the Chiefs over the Texans. Eagles over the Bears. I'm taking the Steelers over the Panthers, although I might change that one. I'm taking the Broncos over the Cardinals. They didn't have no quarterback. Patriots over the Raiders because Derek Carr finds a way to lose. It's kind of impressive how consistent he is with that. Bengals over the Buccaneers, which is a no-brainer to me. Chargers over the Titans, and I'm taking the Giants over the Commanders, and I'm taking Green Bay over the Rams. Who you got, LR?
This was tricky. So I went 4 for 4 so far. I had Niners, Vikings, Browns, and I had the Bills, of course. For Saints, Falcons, I have the Saints. I have the Cowboys. I have the Lions over the Jets. I have the Chiefs over the Texans. Of course, the Eagles are going to dominate the Bears, but I wouldn't bet that game. Uh,
How you
I
gonna say
like
that
the.
statement and say I wouldn't bet that game? This
It's just something feels
not even
off.
money line.
I don't know. Something
Oh,
feels off.
damn it! All right, keep going.
Money line is just too much. But I have the Panthers over the Steelers. I
Hello?
have. Can you hear me?
Fuck. Hold on, bro. Keep going.
Okay. I have the Cardinals over the Broncos. I have the Patriots over the Raiders. I have the Bengals over the Bucks. Chargers over Titans. And I will, yeah, Commanders over Giants, definitely. And then I have the Packers over the Rams, but who cares? Both of those teams suck. I just hope to win pick 'em going undefeated. And I'm starting to think he can't hear me. I'll close this out. So thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for joining. Of course, since I'm the one closing out, final words can be what I want, and it's gonna just be go Eagles. Hopefully the Cowboys get upset by the Jaguars because the Cowboys suck. And I hope everyone has a great weekend.